Hey, everybody. How you doing? How's everybody doing today? What's happening? What's up? What do we got here? We got it. Oh, yes, Kevin's R2. Hold on a second. Let's go back to the... Yes, we've got Anakin and R2. That's right. How's everybody doing today? Are you getting it? Are you in the holiday spirit? I am completely, single-handedly, 2 Christmas trees and what else? Stockings, decorations, lights, wreaths, did it all. This guy right here. How about that? Yeah, I was feeling a little R2 today. A little Anakin, a little Lego Anakin. Let's see if we can get a better shot of this. I'm not into spending a ton of money on the Legos. This was a cheaper one, but one of my favorites is Anakin's Starfighter. Whoa, hey. Okay, so let's see who we got here. Evan's here. Jason's here. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Let's see here. Evan says, I feel like I don't know enough female guitarists. Well, guess what? A lot of these guitar players, I don't know either. This is a discovery kind of thing, as well as letting us know what you think. So we're going to be looking some of these players up. I think it's fun. I really do. I think it's a lot of fun. Jason says, pew pew. I've got a pew pew shirt. R2. Chris says, hey, Chris, what's happening, man? How are you doing? Evan says, holidays sneaked up on me again this year. Usually they do, but living in this crazy place that I live now, you're hit over the face. As soon as Halloween's over, it's on. It is on here. We did some Christmas shopping last night, went to Disney Springs, had Snope. Do you know about the Snope? It's the bubble soap. It comes down from Disney Springs, and I've got a video of it. Maybe I'll put it up sometime. And I've seen it on video, and I thought, yeah, it works. You feel, it's 80 degrees outside, but you feel like, it's a winter wonderland there. So, woot, good job. All right. Hi, Charlie. How are you doing? Dean says, I got the Disney Channel to watch the Beatles, but have been rewatching all the Star Wars movies. Fun. Yes. We did the Beat. Okay, so what do you guys think about this? Was it the Let It Be? What sessions? I've seen a little bit of this before, but they're showing everything. As a family, we sat down to watch it, and we made it probably about 2 hours into it, and then we were done. We were done. I kept going, yeah, man. When they finally get on the rooftop of the Ed Sullivan Theater and all that kind of stuff. We're not even close to that. So it's tense. It's tense. You're dealing with 4 people who may or may not want to be there. And still having to come up with some stuff too. And having people shove their camera in their face the whole time there. So Jay says it's time to learn about... Oh, also, Dean... I did get your emails last week. I haven't had a chance to respond, but send me your number, man. I want to talk to you about a lot of that stuff. I really appreciate that, the extra time that you put into that. Tomorrow's my day. Tomorrow is planning day for me for the year. And you all might want to, as far as guitar playing going, take one of these yourself. Tomorrow I've got a dentist appointment in the morning, but after that, I'm going to go find some place that's not the house, that's not at my usual place. I'm going to go out and I'm going to plan the content for the year, my schedule for the year. I'm going to look at what worked this year, what didn't work this year, get rid of some stuff, add some new stuff, try and streamline things for next year. I got pretty overwhelmed this year, to be honest, got pretty overwhelmed. And so I'm going to be working that out, trying to figure out a schedule where I can get some downtime. That's pretty much what happened is everything just filled up all of my time. So I'm excited about that. And you should all do that for your guitar. I'm going to do it for my guitar playing too. I know we're going to be wanting to do like a cover band that's kind of like rock and 80s and stuff like that. So I'm going to be planning that as well too. And that'll be fun. What do you guys, if you guys want to see a cover band play that's like guitar based cover band, what are some songs that you would like to hear? That's what I'm thinking about. If I went in and saw somebody and I was just going out having fun, what would be cool to hear? What songs would you go, that's awesome. You know, those are the songs that I want to start working on. Jason says, it's time to learn about female guitarists and give them their due. Yes. A lot of great female guitar players. This list today, I think may even be cooler than last week's, but let's see. Chris says, maybe we could put together a female guitarist YouTube playlist, one song from everyone. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. We could do that. You can put that in the chat here. Let's see here. Kevin says 8 inches of snow last Friday, 56 degrees and thunderstorms today. Yeah. It's all over the place, man. It's all over the place. We had a little bit of cold. What David, what was it like 3 weeks ago? A little bit. And then we're back to the land of t-shirts and shorts. So, Evan says the Let It Be sessions. I plan to start watching this weekend. Yeah, it's neat. It's neat. It's a lot. We didn't even we didn't even scratch the surface of it. But it's neat to see the dynamic. And you know what's really neat? If you've been in bands in your life, you know, you think, oh, this is the Beatles and this is, you know, this is the big thing. It's a band. It's the same stuff that you and I go. Everybody's sick of each other. They don't want, one person wants to do something, nobody else wants to do it. It's the same. It's the tension of a band. It's really interesting. Kind of the ending of a band too. So Jason says it is awesome to watch creative processes and how to put together an album. Yeah, I really like. Dean's. I really liked it. I really like it too. I'm going to finish it. Dean says loved it. Slow start, but it got better. Yeah, I don't think I got to the. We kind of it may have been about to get better. Yeah. Evan said Zeppelin. I'd want to hear Since I've Been Loving You. One of my favorite songs. Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to write these down. I'll write these down before we get into the throwdown. So, Since I've Been Loving You. Zepp. And then let's see, what did Chris says? You got to do Panama. Oh, we're already working on it. Yeah, I've been looking at something called the Vega Trim, VEGA, Vega or Vega Trim. And it's some guys in Spain who came up with this trim for a Strat that you can go up like a major third and then dive bomb all the way down in a Strat, and it pretty much stays in tune. Similar to Chris's what is that Strat that you have? Is it a vintage? I don't know, but we were on a chat, video chat the other day. He dive bombed all the way down. It came back still in tune. If I did that with any of these Strats, it'd be over. But my white Strat, I'm thinking I've got a JB Junior. I can either actually route the wood so I can put a humbucker in there, or I've got one of these JB Juniors. I'm going to put that in first and see if it works or not. But Panama is good. Love it, Chris. Let's see. Dave's AC. For those about to rock, I love that song. About to rock, AC/DC. That's my favorite. It's my favorite AC/DC song as well, Evan. Me too. I just love that beginning part. You can't have a solo on this song, Evan. Right. Running with the Devil is fantastic. This you can't beat that. Or Panama. Yep. Daryl Brown did a video on that train. Yeah. A lot of people did. I've been watching a lot of those videos, and I'm thinking of getting one for that white Strat. And and turning that into something a little bit heavier. Eventually, I'm going to get one of the EVH guitars, either the new EVH guitar that has kind of the hockey stick headstock on it, or one of the Wolfgangs, probably like the Wolfgang Standard, I think. But until that point, because I could have got it, but my mixer took a dump on me, so I had to buy this one. So here's where my new guitar went. But I'm gonna turn that white Strat into something a little heavier, and then as we go on, get some new stuff too. Chris says it was the vintage with the Wilkinson bridge. Yes, I was really impressed with that as well. And he says mine gives a little bit of lift. Yeah, and so one of the things, you've got those trims. You can either dive bomb with the trim, with the fender, but if you can't get a whole lot of upward movement with the trims. And then one of the problems that you have with the trim that's set floating is that if you do a lot of palm muting or rest your hand on it, it messes with the tone. This supposedly, and also when you bend, say like the country bend thing, where you keep one finger on one string and then you bend the other string, so you have two strings bending, one string's not being bent and the other one is, that kind of steel guitar sound. And with a floating trim, it doesn't work, that everything goes out of tune. Well, one of the things I saw on one of the videos, that this Vega trim, it stays in tune doing that. And I've seen people resting their palms on the guitar playing it, and it did not go out of tune. So I'm thinking about getting one for that white Strat, maybe tonight. I mean, I have to order it tonight. Nowhere around here, I don't think has it. But Evan says that Vega trim was impressive, if I recall right. Yeah, I think it is. It's pretty impressive. I'm thinking about getting one. But I was really impressed with Chris's that vintage. That trim he was using, he just totally, the strings went dead, and any one of these guitars would be unplayable after that point. Okay, so anything else before we get started? Thinking about doing a Christmas party for the VIP section next week. I'm definitely going to be doing a live stream for the Academy next week, our December. I might do a Q&A. I'm not sure. I'm going to do something for the Academy next week. And then maybe right after that, we'll have a party or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll all get, hot beverages and Santa hats, and it wouldn't be broadcast live, but I can have, I think, up to 10 people on this. We've got 12 people in VIP. Everything went fast, and then it just kind of stopped. I don't know if that's because of the holidays or what's going on, but very, very fun in there. I'm planning on stepping it up, doing a lot more in the VIP section. So if you haven't joined yet, for the $3 a month, and you get the private podcast and all those things, please think about joining us. Okay, so part two. Female guitar players. Let's go ahead. Let's see, Chris. Before we do, Chris says, I would love to see how you get on with the Vega. Maybe good to cover the work you have to do. For VIP. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm pretty sure I'm sold on it. I've been back and forth a lot. I was really waiting to get something with a Floyd Rose on it, but I think this is going to get me there. Get me some tremolo stuff, and I may route that white Strat for a humbucker. I may make it like a pool cavity in there, so I can put any kind of pickups that I want in there. I might do it 2 humbuckers. I don't know. We'll see. Chris said $3 and worth every rockin' cent. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, we'll bring more people in. We'll bring more people into the VIP. It's I think it's this time of year things started going good and slow down. Okay, so let's share the screen here. find the right one. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Which one's better? No, that's not better. Let's see here. Okay, I'll just keep it on this screen. And where are we at? Okay. Here we are. Okay, so we're going to start on number 9 here. We got a couple things came in before we get started. Evan says, my wife tells me one night while I'm watching an Academy video, I like this guy. I'm glad you give him your money. Thank you. I like her too. She's awesome. So joining VIP wasn't just what I wanted. It was healthy for my marriage. Oh, well, that's my goal. That was my goal, Evan. In fact, today is my 19th anniversary. Back in 1999, I was playing in a small club in Macon, Georgia on Valentine's Day, and I was sick and my voice didn't want to work. And so some friends got up to help me sing and make it through the night. And my soon-to-be wife got up and sung a few songs. Met her that night. And 3 years later, we were married on this day. And so 19 years. So we are going, I'm going to be taking her out to a fancy restaurant. Actually, taking the kid too. And we're going to go, it's in the Port Orleans Riverside area. And it's like a New Orleans style, but fancy restaurant. So we're going to go there and chill out, and then we're going to go see Yeehaw Bob. I don't know if anyone here knows about Yeehaw Bob. Yeehaw Bob is he's crazy. He plays piano, and he does he'll play Nirvana, or he'll play like 20s music or something like that, and gets everybody in. Yeehaw Bob's playing after our dinner. So tonight's going to be awesome. So we're having kind of a New Orleans themed anniversary tonight. So, but tell your wife I said thank you, Evan. That's going to be, she's cool. She's cool. Okay, so let's see here. Jason says, I put one of those bridge doctors in. I'm thinking about doing that. Tell me how it went. Charlie says, need to go. Regular conflict with this time here. We'll listen later. Okay, Charlie. Great to see you. Great to see you. Evan says, congratulations, Lee and Lisa. Thank you, man. Yeah, 19 years. That's beautiful. Thank you. Jason says, congratulations. Chris says, congratulations. Thank you. It's the greatest adventure of all time. This is a Star Trek thing. I think it was a DS9, the Miles O'Brien, and him and his wife were fighting all the time. And he said marriage is the greatest adventure of all time. And it is. It is. So Dean says, congrats. Thanks, Dean. Nola style. I dig it. Okay. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program here. We're going to start with Orianthe and Vicki Genthan. So I'm going to read in case anyone doesn't. I know more about Orianthe. Okay. Orianthe, and her real name is Penny Pengaris, is an Australian musician, singer, and songwriter. And she was preparing to be in Michael Jackson's band for the This Is It concert series. She says performed with Alice Cooper's touring band, but she's mostly known for her own stuff now. She also was dating and playing with Richie Sambora for a while. But I recently saw a video of her and Steve Vai jamming on one video, and she's played with everybody now. So I think she went kind of from a side player to a featured player. It plays Paul Reed Smith. It's fast rock. And then we have Vicki Genthan. This is the one I have to look up. And Vicki Genthan is... Wait, let's see here. She's an American singer and guitar player, kind of Tommy Emmanuel style. She's played with him. Lots of the other people. Khaki King, Jennifer Batten. I'm not familiar with her, but this is someone whose name comes up a lot, and I would love to hear a little bit more about her. So I'd probably later on, I'm going to look into that a little bit. So those are the two for round one, Orianthi versus Vicki Genthan. I'm going to look at the chat here while those come in. Evan says, we just made 21 years last month. Best, craziest ride I've ever been on. Congratulations. That's awesome. Jason says, it was easy. This is about the bridge doctor, but I think I want to get the system. Drilling my bridge was scary. Yeah, it sure is. Hey, Kirby. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Nita Strauss, Facebook.com, Nita Strauss. Yes, I think Nita is where she's in round 14, and we're on round 9. So she's coming up soon. Evan says, building my parts caster gave me lots of confidence doing that kind of tinkering. Jason says, I'd love to compare without it, but it does send the sound through the body like Scooter said. Cool. Yeah, and I'm familiar with all of Scooter's guitars and the fact that he has that in all of them. Because I have a Larrivee and he has a Larrivee very similar. Mine's cutaway, his isn't. But it's a big difference between mine and his, and I'll bet it's that bridge doctor. Okay, so we have Orianthi and Vicki Genthan, who I'm not super familiar with. So let's see. We got Chris in with Orianthi. So is David. So 2 for her right off the bat. It looks, let's see, we're a little shy of the folks we had last week. But we got plenty enough to make this happen. So we'll just give this a second. And is anyone familiar with Vicki Genthan? So supposedly she is a very impressive guitar player. I'm not familiar with her. Let's see. Jason says Orianthi. Okay. Evan says, I literally don't know who these people are. I'm not familiar with the second, but Orianthi I've seen a bunch, and you've seen her too. You've seen her. She's blonde. She's kind of shorter. It's a good singer too. Very good singer. Kevin's going Orianthi. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to Orianthi there. All right. So round 1 done. Okay. Now, round 10. Jennifer Batten versus Mimi Fox. So Jennifer Batten was kind of the original shred, not really shred, hard rock, melodic guitar player. She played with Jeff Beck for years, which was a big deal. And let's see here. She had her own signature. Let me read about her real quick. First one is, who is Jennifer Batten dating now? I don't care. She's not dating anyone. Okay, whatever. She's an American guitarist who's worked as a session musician and solo artist from 87 to 90s. For 10 years, she was in... she played on all of Michael Jackson's world tour. So Michael Jackson got a lot of work for female guitar players, which is awesome. From 99 to 2001, she toured and recorded with Jeff Beck, and she has 3 solo albums. Okay. So we'll say JB and Mimi Fox. So let's talk about Mimi Fox. Mimi Fox is someone, being a jazz player I was more familiar with. Mimi Fox is an American jazz guitarist and educator known for her work. So let's see here. She's taught at Berkeley, so a lot of people who are have gone to Berkeley and all this stuff, they're familiar with her. Let's see here. There's tons of different albums, stuff like that. And if you look into jazz chord melody and those kind of things, she's got a lot of educational videos as well. But a well-known jazz guitar player. So Jennifer Batten, I know her. Kevin's Jennifer Batten. And Evan's got a conference call. Chris is Jennifer Batten. And David's Jennifer Batten. Okay, so we're going to give it to Jennifer and move on here. There we go. Okay, number 11. Two people that I'm very familiar with. Okay, Joni Mitchell and Deborah Coleman. Joni Mitchell and Deborah Coleman. Joni Mitchell, you know, legend, right? When you think of female acoustic guitar players, that's who I think of. Joni Mitchell, fantastic songwriter, great open chords using a lot of open strings, very influential on a lot of people. Deborah Coleman is a blues artist. She's a fantastic guitar player who I've been lucky enough to be on several festivals and award shows while she was playing. And a lot of those festivals and award shows, you know, you're sitting around doing nothing all night or all day, depending. And then, you know, and band after band after band comes on and you just look a little bit like that. And she is a guitar player who gets your attention. Every time that she played, I couldn't stop watching, you know. So African-American, fantastic singer, guitar player. And so she's more, if you're in blues and, you know, blues festivals and touring musicians, then you would know who she is. Probably not up to who's being known as being known as Joni Mitchell. But let's see here. Jason, let's see. Joni Mitchell and Deborah Coleman. All right. So Jason says, Joni, I was just talking about how she would just tune the strings to whatever and go, yeah. Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. And people cover her songs like crazy. So the Janet Jackson did some Counting Crows. A lot of people took their, hey, Evan's back. Pushed his call back here for the duration. Chris is going, Joni Mitchell. David says, Deborah Coleman. Awesome. Yeah, I you know, a lot of these guitarists, you know, not so familiar with, but use this as, you know, as, you know, a resource for getting some new music. A lot of these guitar players are fantastic. Evan picks Joni. How does he not? How does he not? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Joni Mitchell probably takes this one here. All right, so there we go. Joni Mitchell. Emily Remler and Charo. Okay. All right. Emily Remler, who's not with us anymore, who was a fantastic. If you like jazz guitar at all, you should listen to Emily Remler. She was I don't know if she was a protege, but she styled her music after Wes Montgomery and did some of the most convincing tributes to Wes Montgomery. She was fantastic. You know, lived life a little too fast It didn't last very long. But if you're interested in jazz guitar at all, Emily Remler is someone you might want to take a listen to. Charo, the Coochie Coochie Charo, right? So Charo is classical flamenco style guitar player who every time I've heard her play, it was like you swap somebody else. She's like a cartoon character, right? And she never stops talking. And then as soon as she plays guitar, it's like you took her off stage and put somebody else in her place, and she's playing. It's fantastic guitar player. And Kevin says, I remember when Charo was on the Love Boat. Yeah, I used to watch the Love Boat when it was on. Can you believe that? Jason says, this is surprisingly tricky. I was just listening to clips and they are both awesome. He's going with Emily Remler and Charo. He's going to go with Emily. Dave's going to go with Charo too. Okay. So let's see. Kevin, he can remember when Charo was on Love Boat. So I'm going to assume that Kevin he's familiar with her, so he's going to pick her. So I'm going to give Kevin's vote to Charo. But they're both fantastic guitar players, and it's kind of funny to say Charo, but she is a fantastic guitar player. Chris is going with her too. Yeah, listen to some clips. Listen to it. I can't play them on here, else I could get in trouble. But listen to some clips of these players. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to Charo. There we go. Coochie Coochie. Okay. All right. So here we go. Now we're getting into it. 13. Joan Jett versus Jan Kunemund. Okay. So Joan Jett, I think we all know, but I'm going to read her stuff anyway. She's an American rock singer, songwriter, composer, punk guitar, kind of a blues, rock, punk guitar player. Joan Jett and the Blackheart. She was in the Runaways. I Love Rock and Roll. Cherry Bomb with Runaways. Bad Reputation. Crimson and Clover, which was my favorite. And when I had her album, I didn't realize that was a cover song. I thought that was her song until I heard someone else play it. I'm like, hey, they're playing that Joan Jett song. Hate Myself for Loving You. So if you watch American football, you've heard that song one too many times. Still playing, still rocking. Great tone, great rhythm guitar player, fantastic rhythm guitar player. And then we have Jan. Okay. So Jan, and she passed away in October of 2013, but she was the guitar player from Vixen. This is a matched. This is probably the first one today that was an evenly matched comparison here. So she was a hard rock guitar player, Vixen. I think for those, Vixen you don't see a lot of stuff about them anymore, but for those of you who were in the 80s and remember any of that and had a television, they pushed that band a lot. They were on all the time. And they've had a hard time. For a while, they were trying to get it together and get back together, and they've had some issues with health, and then her passing away. But she's a metal guitar player against Joan Jett. So let's see what we got here. Say Joan Jett against JK. So let's see. David's going for Joan Jett. All right. So Jason. Joan Jett gets the badass vote. Yeah, she does. So is Chris. He said, "I've heard of Vixen as a serious force in that scene." Yeah, they were something. They were something. We'll go ahead and give this to Joan Jett. There we go. We're going to see if we can make it through. Oh, come on, internet. It's taking a while. Let's see. Okay. Whew. Here's another good matchup. Okay? Here's another good matchup. Nita Strauss versus the Great Cat. Kind of two different eras, but kind of the same kind of marketing towards these female guitar players. Nita Strauss, who is, if you're into guitar and gear and stuff like that, she's all over the place, got her Ibanez. I think the first time I heard her play was in the Iron Maidens. I think a lot of people, it was like I saw a lot of different stuff. Iron Maidens. I'm an Iron Maiden fan from way back. And then when I saw the Iron Maidens, I thought, hey, that'd be fun. And then you see her with Alice Cooper. She's lead guitar player for Alice Cooper for a long time. And toured up with that. And now she's got her own stuff and her own signature guitar. So I actually follow her on, I think, Instagram, I think. And then the Great Cat. Great Cat was crazy, but she was like the answer to Yngwie, the female answer to Yngwie Malmsteen at the time. But she was kind of, if you took Yngwie Malmsteen and Blackie Lawless from Wasp and put them together and made whatever that unholy thing female, that's what the Great Cat was. She was out there. There was a couple. Who was it? Who else was out there? Who was the at the time? Wasn't a guitar player, but Wendy O. Williams. You remember? She was like you never knew anything could go down with either of them. But she was a really, really fast, like metal, kind of that classical metal scary stuff player. Nita Strauss to me her playing is a lot more listenable, in my opinion, from what I remember. But Great Cat brings back a lot of memories for there. Let's see here. So this one. So David's in with Nita Strauss, and Cat. Nita Strauss. So we got David in with one. Evan says, could have broken our brains and put Joan Jett against Chrissie Hynde. Yeah. She, when I searched for this, Chrissie Hynde didn't come to mind at first, and then she's not really in. So I went a lot of these like lists of the best guitar players and stuff to try and get ideas for this. But yeah, I should have put her in there. Yeah. Let's see here. Nita. Let's Ev's at Nita 2. Jason says Nita the Great Cat is a wild a touch too. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Chris says she sounds rad though. Yeah, crazy. Completely crazy. Cool stuff though, but if you look her up, be prepared. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so Nita takes this one. The Cat did not make it through round 14. So we've got Wendy from the Revolution, Prince's original, first, not original band, but is the big band at first. And Molly Tuttle. Now, Molly Tuttle, I'm not familiar with, but I added in because a lot of people said, hey, how about Molly Tuttle? What are we going to do about Molly Tuttle? So we're going to put it in there. So let's talk about Wendy first. She is currently I think, the leader of the revolution. They are playing a lot. The entire band without Prince. And let's see, American guitarist, singer, songwriter. And she's one half of the duo Wendy and Lisa. And Lisa was the keyboard player for that same band. As guitar players, that intro to Purple Rain with the chorus pedal that nobody can get it to sound quite right, and the chords that no one can get them to sound quite right. So that was her part, from what I understand. That's a live recording, and probably one of the first times she played that song in front of anyone. She had just got into the band. So, that's it. She has, Prince wrote it, but she plays a classic guitar chord progression / riff type intro that a lot of people learn, and a lot of people have a hard time getting to sound correct. So that's Wendy. And then, wait, I had a few come in for the last one. So Evan says, does that mix make Yngwie as cool as Blackie, or Blackie as intolerable as Yngwie? Blackie Lawless, I don't even pay attention to that. But Yngwie, I pay a lot of attention to. It's kind of the train wreck thing. I'm fascinated by him, and not his guitar playing. It's just him as a person. When we go to Disney World, and the most entertaining thing to us, to my odd sense of humor, is the meltdowns that you see of people who are at the happiest place on earth spending $10,000, and they're fighting and screaming at each other. I find that some of the best entertainment you can get, because I've been there. I've been the person on that side too. And Yngwie, you don't know what's going to come out of his mouth, but you know it's going to center around himself. And it's going to be pushing himself. And it's fun. It's fun. Okay, let's get back to. So we had Nita, and for the last one, and Kevin said Nita, and Dean said Nita. Okay, so that we're up to those. I'll add some more for that one. Okay, but now we're on Wendy and Molly. Let me put Molly Tuttle in here. We'll say a little bit about her. Molly is she's a vocalist, songwriter, banjo player, and guitarist, recording artist, and teacher in bluegrass style. Okay, so that's why I haven't listened to bluegrass in a while. She's flat picking, claw hammer, and cross picking. Let's see here. First woman to win the International Bluegrass Music Association's Guitar Player of the Year. So that's why I'm not familiar with Molly Tuttle, because I have not listened to much bluegrass lately. But let's see here. Let's see what we've got. So Dean's in. Oh, let's see. Kevin's in first with Wendy. So Wendy and Molly Tuttle. Okay, so we're going to give Wendy 1. Dean's in with Molly. So we're 1-1 at this point. Jason says, I'm going to give this to Molly. That flat picking is on point. I'm going to have to listen to Molly, I think. Evan's going with Wendy. So we're even, 2-2. For that Prince part, it's one of my favorites ever. Okay, so we're at 2-2. We got some more coming in here. Beep, 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 beep. Chris Ward says, Wendy. All the way from Northern England, the vote came in. Wendy. All the way from Tampa area, not Tampa Bay, Tampa area. David says Wendy. We've got them coming in from all over the place. Wendy's up 4, Molly 2. We'll give it a minute. I'm looking at how many folks we have here. And we've got a little bit. If you are watching and not in the chat, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. We're having a good time doing these. And if you haven't subscribed to Play Guitar Podcast, please do. After the new year, there's going to be a lot more stuff going on here. And more about that as we get closer to the new year. So I'm not getting any more votes coming in, so we're going to give this one to Wendy. And our very, very last slot here, we have Mother Maybelle Carter and Annie Defranco. Throwdown. So let's say Mother Maybelle Carter. American country musician, originator of the Carter Scratch, best known as a member of the original Carter family. Okay, so a founder of country guitar. They toured with Johnny Cash all the time, played at the Grand Ole Opry. Let's see what else. I'm not going to go through all that right now. And then we've got Annie Defranco. Okay, so Annie Defranco, who's a singer-songwriter, right? American singer-songwriter. She's had 20 albums. It's folk rock, alternative rock, but others, let's see here. She's it's a lot of political things and everything like that. What's her? Yeah, it's a staccato style, rapid finger picking, those kind of things, along with her vocals. Okay. All right. So let me get this set up. Mother MMC versus Annie Defranco. Okay, so what do we got here? We got Jason, Annie Defranco. Okay. And Evan says can't dispute Mother Maybelle. And so I have a feeling that a few of you may be listening to some clips going, and that's a good way to do this too. I can't put the clips out, but Okay, David's going with Annie Defranco. There we go with David. And we'll give it a few minutes more. Chris is in. Mother Maybelle. Okay, so we're 2 and 2. 2 and 2. How many people are at work today while we're doing the streams? Who's working as we're doing this? And are you working at home or are you in the office? I'm very curious about that. Being someone who's worked at home since 1996, I don't know how the office etiquette for watching YouTube and those things. Very, very curious about that. Chris has got his day off. Awesome. You deserve it. David says, I'm working. David, are you working at home or in the office? Kevin says, in the office. Ugh and hey. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see here. Evan is working at home. They made it permanent. What's that? The hands up? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. Good for you, Evan. Good for you. That's great. And do you like it? Do you guys like working at home better than working in the office? Last time I worked in the office was when I worked for my father when I was younger. And it's fine. It's fine. I like working at home though. Although sometimes, and actually things like this make it easier. You work at home, and actually my daughter's homeschooled. My wife works at home. I work at home. And sometimes, it's good to get out a little bit and see other people. Kevin says, I'll say Annie DeFranco. Okay, so Annie pulled ahead there. David says, work in the field most of the time. Okay, that makes sense. It's easier to get away with stuff there. Evan says, I love working home. My telly sits with me. Yes. Kevin says, rather be at home 100%. Okay. David visits large commercial properties. Got it. Okay. All right. So it looks like, listen, we don't have any more come in. I can go back and change it. I'm going to give this to Annie DeFranco. She pulled ahead 3-2. And we will go ahead and do some round 2. Jason says, I'm leaving at noon to go in early. I've watched at work, but I'm not supposed to. Right. But he does relatively low-key factory work, though. Okay, cool. Yep. Got it. I got it. Okay, so we're going to do these quickly. Let's see if we can get this done before Jason has to go. So let's see here. Round 2, we're going to say Orianthi, however you pronounce it, and Jennifer Batten. We'll put that one up here. JB versus O. I thought this one was good. Today was going to be better than last week, but I'm not sure that that's the case. I think there's more obscure players in this group. I just knew that Nita Strauss was going to be in this, and I figured it would be a little bit more, but it's not. It's not. Let's see. So we got a JB from Chris. David's got an Orianthi. Evan's got Jennifer Batten. So we got those. So it's 2-3 JB right now. Okay. I find from working at home that it can be very, I juggle two, I do this and then I juggle another job that I'm doing. So I'm juggling 2 jobs. I find when I work at home that I'm working all the time. I work on holidays. I work till midnight. I'm always working. And I find I have a hard time relaxing. That's why I try to leave the house a lot. Whenever I leave the house, I tend to relax. I used to go to movies, just to be someplace new. We don't really do that anymore. So Jason's Orianthi. So we got 2-2 for this round. We'll give it just a second more. See if we can get one more vote in for this one. Someone wants to break the tie. I've heard Jennifer Batten's playing a lot more than I've heard Orianthi's playing. I've heard a few videos of her. I've seen the Norm's Rare Guitars, where her and Richie Sambora go in and try a bunch of stuff. But Kevin comes in, breaks the tie. He's going to say Jennifer Batten. Okay, we'll see you, Kevin. So we'll go ahead and give that to Jennifer. Let's move on to the next one. Charo versus Joni Mitchell. I have a feeling I know which way this one's going to go. But hey, what are you going to do? Thanks for the song suggestions, though. If you guys have any more that you'd like to hear, like stuff that I used to play, Cliffs of Dover, and that was people would come in and not expect to hear something like that when you're playing covers in a bar. So that's when I may try again, maybe not. Definitely want to do some Satriani. I want to do some something fun. Let's see here. Okay, Joni Mitchell and Charo. So Chris is Joni Mitchell. David's Charo. Okay. All right. We'll see which one of these people goes up against. I think it was Bonnie Raitt that took it. Yep, that's it. That's all right. We'll see here. So who do we have? Like Kevin's out. I think Jason's going to be out at 12. He's only got 4 minutes, so he may be out already. So we got Evan, David, and Chris. Maybe what we got left here. Charlie had to leave. Dean, I don't know if Dean, are you still here? See if Dean's here. I'm scrolling back. Yeah, so it may be 4 of us right now. David says, if we do Satriani, gotta be always with you, always with me. Yeah, I thought I might do like Satch Boogie and then always with you, always with me. Go old school with Satriani stuff. Yeah, things like that. Things like that would be fun. I want to do some Rush. I want to do some like, or some Limelight, or Spirit of the Radio. It's older stuff, stuff that people would have heard, but it's still, pretty challenging on the guitar. I want something that's I don't want to just, snooze in a cover band. I want to do something that's going to kind of push me a little bit. Okay, so we got some coming in here. Chris says Joni Mitchell. David says Charo. And then Jason says Charo. Okay. And then David says, let's just give it to Nita. You're jumping right to the end there, man. Yeah. Jason says, still here. This is more important. Okay. All right. And Evan says Joni. Okay. So Joni Mitchell and Charo. If it's up to me, that's us. If that's who we got left, I think there's 4 of us that are voting right now. We have some more folks. You can vote if you want. I'll wait a second and see if we get one. But I'll break the tie on this one. Yeah, I'll break the tie on this one. I'll go ahead and break the tie on this one. If someone else comes in, I'll nullify them. I would give this one to Joni Mitchell just because she's more influential than Charo. And I've heard her more. But Charo is surprising to me. Okay, so let's go here to round. Let's see here. Jennifer Batten, Joni Mitchell. Joan Jett. This is a good one. Joan Jett versus Nita Strauss. Joan Jett versus Nita Strauss. Okay. Oh, let's get this out of here. I think that I was going to ask Dean how he's liking the Star Wars stuff and what he's been watching. I think Dean's probably got some work going on. Okay, so Chris has got Nita. David's got Nita. We'll see what Evan and Jason have to say on this one. Joan Jett for Evan. Joan Jett for Evan. So it looks like Jason, is he still here? He's still here. So he says still here is more important. That's what he says. That's what he says. We're coming close to the end of this round. What round is this? This is round 3, I think. Yeah, round 3. Maybe we can get this done. I don't know. We're not going to make it by 12, but I'm going to keep going. It's just me. And let's see. Evan said he's in for the long haul. Chris is off work today. David's going around working. Okay, we'll wait a little bit. So I've been looking at, it's a tie. Joan Jett versus Nita Strauss. We've got 2 Nitas, 2 Joan Jetts. I've been looking at pickups a lot. I've been looking at some of the EVH pickups. I've been looking at the hot rail style pickups, the single coil style humbuckers a lot. One that I've been really liking is the DiMarzio Fast Track. Pro Track, Fast Track. Let me see which one it is. Pro Track is the one I've been enjoying a lot. DiMarzio Pro Track. It looks like a Duncan Hot Rails pickup. Really, really cool sound. I've been looking at the 59, looking at bridge humbuckers again. And again, I've got a bunch. Got a bunch. So the one that I use in my Les Paul is a DiMarzio 36th anniversary. I used to have a JB in there. I may put it back in. I know I was recommending the JB to David. Jason says, we'll make you decide all the finally. David says, for Christmas, I want your Nita vote. Okay, you got it. You got it, David. I'll give it to Nita. I'll do it. I love Joan Jett, though. But I don't know. For right now, that's just how I'm feeling. You can hate me if you want. I apologize, but how I'm feeling today. I really enjoy her playing. I'm feeling heavier music lately for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, and then our last one is Wendy and Ani. Wendy from Prince and Ani Defranco. Yeah. I think, I've been enjoying my Marshalls. I can play them again because I've got this 2 notes torpedo captor. I think R2 thinks the same. He's been liking heavier music too. Been listening to a lot heavier music as well. So that's kind of where my headspace has been at. Yeah, for a decade or maybe 15 years of blues and those things. Things have changed. Things have changed for me. I'm having fun. So for David has his Christmas vote. Awesome. So Jason's for Wendy. Chris is for Wendy. We'll see what Evan says and what David says. What do you think? Honestly, Wendy, I'm much more familiar with Ani Defranco. That's just total honesty on my part. So if it's a tie, I'm going with Wendy. When Loco says, I'm an old metal drummer. Let's see here. Let me put this up here. When Loco, I'm an old metal drummer that decided to learn guitar, so I don't know any of them. We don't know a lot of them either, man. I'm Lee, by the way. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yeah, we're learning. We're learning a lot. I'm surprised. Putting this together and getting 32 female guitar players, I thought would be a snap. I thought would be easy. And I'm finding I'm doing more learning than, reminiscing about the songs I used to like, those things. This has been interesting. Shouldn't be this way. There's a lot of fantastic female guitar players, but I'm too. Let's see here. David says Wendy, so we'll give this one to Wendy, and then we're going to finish this up here. But it's good to meet you, though. Un Loco. Good to meet you. All right. So that was round 3. We're into the semifinals right now. We've got one. No, we're not. We have to finish round 3. There we go. Okay, so we have 1. We have 2 in round 3. First one is Jennifer Batten versus Joni Mitchell. I need a new piece of paper here. Oh. JB versus JM. Says, yeah, I hear you. Yep, that's right. That's right. David says, well, Nita is metal, so we need your vote. David's going to trying to pull for Nita versus the big Bonnie Raitt. That's where that's the matchup he's hoping for. Let's see. David's in with Jennifer Batten. Chris is in as well. Okay, so we got 2 for Jennifer Batten so far. Joni Mitchell doesn't have any at the moment, but we have our group waiting on a few. What's the next one? The next one is Nita and Wendy, and then between this one and the next one, we go over to the Bonnie Raitt matchup. She's formidable. She's got a name, right? And hits. It's hard to beat. Jason's saying Jennifer Batten. So we'll give that one to Jennifer Batten. Like I said, I can always go back. I'm kind of pushing forward a little bit here. And if the votes don't come in this way, I can go back and change any of this. Silly work. Making me work. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. Okay. So we're going to give that one to Jennifer Batten. I would think probably Evan would probably say Joni Mitchell, but that still would be, she still wouldn't come close there. So our next one is Nita, Strauss, David, Nita Strauss, and Wendy from the Revolution. Wendy, known more, but at this point, I don't know. Nita Strauss is very, very popular as far as guitar players go. So Nita Strauss versus Wendy. So Jason's going Nita. David is. Chris is. Unloco. Is that what you want me to call you? What do you want me to call you, man? He says, I looked up Nita and I'm going all in. Nita. Yeah, she was in the Iron Maidens, right? Can't beat that. So we got 4 Nita. Chris says, I wasn't paid by David. It hasn't come in. The check has not cleared. David says, awesome. Okay. So I'm thinking Nita takes that one hands down. This is fun. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I look forward to Wednesday. My Mondays and Tuesdays. Has anyone listened to the podcast today? The podcast comes out Wednesday morning at 3 a.m. so that for my very fine friends in the United Kingdom can have that in the morning when they wake up. And then as the time zones go across, it's there for the folks over here. It was geared towards career beginner guitar players, people who have played and been very frustrated. I listened to it today. So here's the thing. I outline the podcast. This is the process. This is my steps to this. I outline the podcast. Used to be I would write it all out. Don't do that anymore. I just have bullet points, So I outline the podcast, get the bullet points done, add other ideas that I want to make sure I touch on, record the podcast. Then I have to edit the podcast to go back, take all the uhs and ums and all that stuff that is on video. It's not that big a deal, but on audio, it's really sucks, So take all that stuff out. So by the time I'm done editing and then uploading the videos, I've heard my voice an awful lot, and it gets a little old, And then the topic, I'm very intent when I'm outlining it, and then when I'm recording it, when I'm editing it, I'm not really listening anymore. I'm tuning myself out, right? So I listened to this podcast today. Why? Because I just wanted to make sure I was kind of sleepy when I edited it. So I wanted to make sure that what I put out didn't have any, it was okay. And I got to say, it was one of my better podcasts. It's very, very helpful. And it's basics that a lot of people, not just career beginners, but it's the ground floor. If you don't have these things, you're putting yourself off in another tangent. So even players, even in my own playing, I'm taking my own advice, and putting everything in there. So if you get a chance, listen to that today. Chris says, I saw Nita play with Alice on supporting Motley Crue. Cool. Yeah. I haven't heard tons of hers, but Chris said, podcast listened. Awesome. Evan's listened twice today already. That's what I'm talking about. You're awesome, man. You're good. Jason said, I'll catch it in a few minutes. And David said, I'm going to listen after this. Yeah, it's, it hit what I try to do. The podcast was focused on career beginner players. But anytime I do that, I focus, it really opens up to a lot of different players. And it really targets that problem that we have of getting distracted, getting off track. And even if you're on a good journey, and even if you've got a good goal set and all of those things, sometimes the basics go away. And this was the basics. And I've explained in the podcast that, this year is coming to an end. This was my experimental year. Year 1 was super helpful. Year 2, continue that and started incorporating Q&As and those kind of things. Year 3, I tried a whole bunch of different stuff. We did lick episodes. Lick episodes are going to go to YouTube, basically. They're fun, and it's fun to do, but, on podcast, it's okay. That's what YouTube's going to be big this year. I'll tell everybody about this next week. Tim says, did my name change? I'm Tim now. Hey, Tim, how you doing? How you doing, Tim? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, it worked. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. All right. So what were we on? We gave that one to Nita, and then we're on Jennifer Batten and Nita Strauss. We didn't start that one yet, did we? Hey, Tim Loco. Hey. Cool. It's great to see you, man. Hang out with us on Wednesdays. I'm going to keep this going. Wednesday hangouts are going to be the thing. I'll always have something for us to do, but it's really just an excuse for me to hang out with you guys and girls. But we're going to have YouTube, the podcast. I'm going to be doing it in 5 sections, and each one of those is going to get a YouTube video. And then I'm going to be doing some other stuff too. So a lot of stuff. I'm going to big push for YouTube next year. So let's see. Jason says Nita over Jennifer Batten. So JB versus Nita Strauss. Let's see. Jason says Nita. I'm going to assume that David says Nita. So I'm going to go ahead. David, you can just... I'm going to put David's in already. I already know. Tim's in. Tim Loco. David's Nita. Okay, so we got 3 Nitas so far. Welcome, Tim. That's cool. Cool. Great to see you. Great to see you. So we got 3 Nitas so far. Let's see. Who are we missing? We're missing Chris and Evan, I think. Let's see. What would Chris and Evan say? I don't know. Evan may not be familiar with maybe more Jennifer Batten. I don't know. I don't know if Evan is or not. And Chris is going to go Nita. Okay, so that pushes it over the edge there. So Nita takes this. And Evan's going to go Jennifer Batten. It's kind of what I thought. We're going to submit that. So Nita takes this. And David, Merry Christmas. This is the matchup you were wanting. Bonnie Raitt versus Nita Strauss. Very odd competition. Very odd. Bonnie Raitt, slide player, extraordinary slide player. Part of that kind of club of like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Robert Cray, Jimmy Vaughan, those players, like the late 80s, early 90s, featured blues rock guitar players, Grammy winner, all that stuff. Here we go. Let's see here. Dave says, Evan, we got to talk. Okay, so let's get started with this. Jason's in with Nita and let's see, BR, Bonnie Raitt. So Jason's in with Nita, Evan's in with Bonnie. So 1-1. Chris is in with Nita Strauss for the win. David's in with Nita Strauss. So we're 3-1 at this point. Rick is here. Yes. Hey, Rick. Rick says, hey guys, watching most of the morning, but like Evan said earlier, I don't know most of these artists. I don't know a lot of them either. Enough to chime in, but Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you too. Let's see, what's next week? What's the date? What's next Wednesday? 22nd. Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here next Wednesday. We'll just have some fun. We'll do some Christmas stuff or whatever. But great to see you, Rick. Jason says, gotta fly, catch y'all later. I don't think Jason... Did Jason vote? Yeah, Jason voted. He got Nita in there. See you, Jason. That was cool. Thanks for hanging out, man. Wow. David said you spelled Nita. Dave's very protective. Don't mess her name up, right? And Tim's Nita. So, looks like Bonnie Raitt went down. She went down. And Nita took it. So, Nita is of the Play Guitar live stream group that we have become, which is a smaller group today. But Bonnie Raitt is down. It is Nita Strauss. She has risen to new heights. Favorite female guitar player, Nita Strauss. Merry Christmas, David. David says, awesome. I think next week I want to have some like sound effects and stuff like that. Evan says Bonnie is a legend. She is. And Bonnie would have got my vote over Nita. But my vote doesn't really count. What I think. But I like Nita Strauss. But Bonnie Raitt's had, especially on my slide playing, just the fact that tone she gets by using the middle finger instead of the third finger. I always just use the third finger. And I could never really get that raspy tone that she got. And I studied her playing for a while. Chris says sleigh bells are coming. Yeah. I think I've got a program that's like a cart player, sound effect type player, and you can put songs in there too. I want to do more. How the podcast works is I record the voice, and then I go back in and add the music later. But I may start doing everything on the fly, having more fun with it, having some cool, maybe with some sleigh bells, because next week, I don't know. We'll have some fun next week too. Maybe I'll show you. I've got 3 or 4 projects. I got a pedal board project going on. I got my daughter's Strat. I'm putting in 2 humbuckers and a 3-way switch in that guitar. So that's there. I've got my white guitar that I'm going to turn into a harder rock Strat for the moment. So we may look at some Christmas projects there. David says Steve Vai and Joe Satriani lost on the male side, so this is nice. Okay, all right. I've been watching a lot more Steve Vai. For a moment, I was considering buying the Jim Jr. and fixing it and upgrading it, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think so. But I've been watching a lot more Steve Vai stuff. He's funny. It's very funny. Very, very funny. Okay, everybody. It's 12:20 here in Orlando, Florida. And I'm going to call it. And thank you for hanging out with me today. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for all the anniversary well wishes. I appreciate that. We're going to have a good time the rest of the day. And I'm going to, for those of you who are VIPs, the private VIP podcast, I think I'm going to do that on Friday. I think I'll do it on Friday. And that's going to be about, it's going to be kind of the results of tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be my day where I plan for next year. I'm going to talk about the business side of all of this, the offerings that I'm going to be having. We've got the VIP sections. We've got the top VIP section is actually one-on-one lessons. I've got the academy and the separate courses. I'm going to be offering some of those courses from the academy as separate courses as well, and then other stuff that's going on. So I'm going to be getting everything straightened out tomorrow. And if I don't finish tomorrow, I'll keep working on it. But private podcast is going to be all about that. Let everybody in on what's going on. And let's see here. Tim says, oh, cool. How old is your daughter? Mine is 6, and she has a little cheapo acoustic, and she can play an E minor like a pro. That's awesome. That's cool. My daughter is 13, just turned 13. And she, about that age, I had an in-person group guitar classes, and she came over and took a couple of those, but it just wasn't in her radar at the time. But now, and so I just let her go. I figure if she wants to play music, it'll happen. And it's happened. And we have a lot of fun. We have very similar tastes in music. So we're having a lot of fun. We were listening to Rust in Peace on the way home from Disney Springs yesterday. So blows my mind. Right? So we're going to, she's got a membership to the academy, and she can do that whenever she wants. And then she's got me, and we, where we've been playing, she's got a bass, she's got a Strat, she's got an acoustic, and it's fun. We're having a good time. And my wife plays a little bit of guitar too. So we got a lot of music going on here. David says, okay, have a great day. You too, man. You too. Evan says, glad to be here today. Tim says, have a good one, Lee. Podcast helped me a lot. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. We got a large group of people that listen to the podcast. I think I get 4,000 downloads a month. I get 1, 2, 3. No, more than that. Each episode, once it levels off, generally I get 2,000 downloads for each episode. So I'm coming up on like 3/4 of I think it's like, let's find out. Let's find out what we're doing with the podcast here. Oh, I can't get in right now. I have to enter my password. But anyway, got a lot of people that listen to the podcast. And then we have a very core group of people that I get to hang out with. And it's awesome when we get new people to come into the core group. So thanks, Tim. Thanks for hanging out with us. That's right. Okay, everybody. I'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your day. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.